Hi guys, so I just got in from work and thought that I would just do a quick video on the Know Your Needle Worker tag. Should probably have done this in video 1, but thought I would just do a small video just to see how quickly it uploads onto YouTube as well, because I don't know if anyone else found this. Mine seemed to be taking about 5 or 6 hours to upload. So I don't know if that's normal or whether it's just I have really slow internet, which I suspect is true. No. Sorry, my kitten's sitting on my lap and she's trying to go after my needlework. So question number 1, where do you live? So I live in Essex. I live about as far down in Essex as you can get without going into Kent. So far down that you can see the QE2 bridge from my house, which leaves a lovely view from the windows. Not, but it's a good area because it's right next to Lakeside Shopping Centre. So it's right next to the shops. You've got the restaurants, you've got the cinema, and I've lived here. Well, I moved back here in March. Before that I did 2 years or 18 months in Hereford, which is like a small kind of country town next to Wales. So it's about 200 miles away, and I moved there with a boyfriend, which I think I mentioned in my first video. And I loved it there. We were well out into the countryside. You know, it's a lot slower pace. And I used to say to my dad, like, I'd come down the M4 and everything would be nice and smooth, and then you hit that M25 and it's like, boom, you don't know why, but you're in a rush. You need to, you know, you've got to get somewhere, you need to be somewhere, and that is the pace of Essex. It is just everything's 100 miles an hour. Which is like, it's alright. It's like it's good for your spare time, but you know, sometimes it's nice to have a slower pace of life. So what do you do for a living? Question 2. Sorry, I've got them written down here, so that's why I'm looking that way. So at the minute I'm a supervisor in a shop, quite a large shop. We do kind of food, toiletries, makeup, everything really, everything. And it's quite a large chain. I don't know if I can say the name, so I won't, just in case. And I mentioned in my first video that I had recently been offered a job with Essex Police as a communications officer, which is doing the 999 calls. And I was really looking forward to it. I'd been wanting to do this job for like 10 years or more. And I finally plucked up the courage to apply for this job. And I had an email on, let's see, yesterday, day before, to say that they're no longer employing. So I was really, really gutted to be told that I would, starting in March next year, to be told, well actually no, we're not employing anymore until next spring, which is March anyway. So I really don't know what's going on. I don't know whether I have still got the job and I'm just not going to start till March, or you know, they're just not employing and they said they'll keep me on file until they know. But yeah, so at the meantime I'm stuck at this job. The days go quick and I kind of enjoy it. It's not too bad. I work with some nice people. But I definitely do not want to be working in retail for the rest of my life. I don't enjoy it at all. For instance, I had a lady today whilst I was hiding Halloween. They were like the Halloween section, the costumes and decorations and stuff like that. And one of the decorations fell on the floor and her friend said, oh, you're just going to leave that on the floor? And she said, well, yeah, I don't work here. What does it matter? So, and that really annoyed me. At that point, I had to walk away because I felt like the anger kind of bubbling up, you know, because they assume that because you work in a shop that you're a skivvy and, you know, they treat you like you're the help or something, and it really annoys me. They've just they're just rude, and people have so much lack of respect. It's unbelievable. So anyway, that's what I do at the minute. My favourite hobbies, other than cross stitching, ouch, I like to read. I don't get to read that much, usually only on my lunch breaks. I always find that if I'm at home and I'm reading, I always think, well, there's always something else I could be doing. I can't just sit still, switch off and read. I always think, well, I could be doing some laundry, or I could do washing up, or ouch, or I could be doing cross stitch. You know, there's always something at home that I need to be doing, so I find it quite hard to switch off and read at home. Whereas on my lunch break, I've got no problem, because I can just switch off from work and not have to worry about it. At the moment, I'm reading the Maze Runner books. I don't know if anyone's seen them. I'm on the second book. Love the films, and really enjoying the books. Although I'm glad for once, I'm glad that I saw the films before I read the books, because especially in this second book, I'm about halfway in and I'm only just getting to something that actually happens in the film. So it is that different, and I think if I'd read the book first and then watched the film, I perhaps would have been disappointed and wouldn't like the film as much. But whereas I've seen The Maze Runner and I've seen The Scorch Trials and loved them, you know, the books are just kind of like an added bonus. I like them as well. But it does lead me to wonder whether I should watch the third film first and then read the book. I don't know. Other than that, I enjoy sewing. So I mentioned, I think in my first video, that I'd done a quilting course last year, 12 weeks. And actually I've got my quilt, I can show you. One moment. So it's not finished, but it's like a throw, like a Christmas throw. Let's see if I can get it in. So yeah, I don't know if you can see that. And I really enjoyed it. I loved making it. I love kind of anything fabrics and sewing and anything like that. And it's, see if I can say this because it's in Welsh, Nadolig Llawen, I think I've got that bit wrong, but it basically says Merry Christmas in Welsh. And I went with Welsh because one, the lady already had the templates for it, so I didn't have to try and make up the letters myself. And also my partner is Welsh, Michael's Welsh, so yeah, it's just something a bit different, but I love it, and I'm gonna snuggle up to it now for the rest of this video. My next favourite hobby, maybe photography. I love photography, and I have a really nice camera. It cost me a lot of money at the time, but it's probably perhaps a little bit dated now. But it's like a nice Nikon SLR camera, I'd think then. And we live right next to somewhere called Rainham Marshes, and it's like a big RSPB, like nature reserve, with all different types of birds, and it's got loads of lakes and stuff like that, and it's a really nice, it takes a good couple of hours to walk around it, and it's just really nice and peaceful to go there, and I quite often go there. And I like to go to zoos as well. I'm a big animal lover. I love my animals. I love my sea animals. I love whales. I love killer whales. I think I mentioned that in my last video. But I love animals in general. Just do. So they're my favourite things to take photos of. So I quite often I'll just take myself off to the zoo, and spend hours there, just walking around, taking photos. I just enjoy it, and then I love coming back on, seeing them all on computer and stuff like that. I have got like I can't remember what it's called, Photoshop maybe, an editing program, but I've not used it. I probably should, but or learn how to use it anyway. But so anyway, kids. Have I got any kids? No, I haven't got any kids. I would like kids. I would like a lot of kids. One of my favourite TV shows is The Darling Buds of May with David Jason and Pam Ferris. If anyone's ever seen that, my nan introduced it to us, and I've got the box set, and I quite often sit there and watch it. And it's got Catherine Zeta-Jones in as well. I think it's one of the first things that she did. But I just love it. I love that whole living on a farm, and I love the kitchen, like a real retro kitchen with like a big table down the middle and loads of chairs, and you know, like all the chairs are different type, different style, different colours, and I just love it. I love it. And the whole house and the family is based around this kitchen and food, and it's just such a nice thing. I would recommend it to anyone. But that's kind of what I would like. I like a busy house. I love it when we have people come and visit and stay, and I love cooking, and you know, so it's something that I can't wait for, to be honest. But I am 30, and I am very aware my biological clock is ticking. And I know 30 is still young, but I am kind of, you know, itching to try. But we are looking to buy a house now. So I have to be responsible, and I have to, that's my cat, to buy a house first, settle down with a house, and then you go from there. So have we got any pets? So you've seen Belle. Belle, come on then. Come on. She's just looking at me like I'm crazy. So she is 7 months old, and I got her from a lady at work. I've never been... Oh, there we go. Come say hello. Look. Say hello. She only cost £20. Best £20 I've ever spent, even though she just bit me. But she's lovely, and it's really nice that when you're home alone to have a presence in the house. Like, she's just lovely, and I won't change her. We've always been a dog people. We've always had dogs, and never a cat. My mum's had cats, and my brother's got a cat. So me and Michael decided we would try a kitten, and it's because we both work full time. It wouldn't be fair to have a dog. And yeah, I wouldn't change it for the world. And she goes in on Friday to get spayed, and I'm really nervous. Bless her. I'm going to take her lady bits away. But then she can go out and she can play with all the other cats. And we don't have to worry about little baby cats. And obviously she's called Belle because of Beauty and the Beast, which is my favourite Disney film. I did really want to call her Consuela, which is a bit of a random name. But I really like Family Guy, and it's the name of the maid in Family Guy. And me, Michael, my dad and my brother, we're always like saying Consuela's catchphrases, and one of her catchphrases is "no, no." So whenever we ask a question or get asked a question, we always go, "No, need more lemon pledge. No." Look it up. It's really funny. I obviously cannot do it, as I obviously don't sound like a little old Mexican lady, but it's still good. And I have 6 guinea pigs. 6. We did have 8, but I'll start from the beginning. So before where I'm working now, I worked in a pet shop, and I worked as assistant manager, and I went on nutritional training and small animal training, and we got to hold a hamster. I don't like hamsters. They're too small. They can scurry about, and I don't know, it freaks me out. And then we got to hold a guinea pig, and it kind of just, you just hold it, and it kind of just sat there, and it was like all nice and cute, and you know, I was like, oh bless. And I'd never had my own pets before, so I was like, oh, I want to get some guinea pigs. So we all looked into it, and you know, I researched hutchies and everything like that. And so I went to the pet shop and I got two, and I got Meg and Ruby. Meg because of Meg from Family Guy, Ruby because my friend thought it was a good name at the time, so I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Meg, I called her Meg because Meg is like the ugly one in Family Guy, and everyone takes the mick out of her. And I thought, oh, she's not as pretty as Ruby. She's just plain white, little tan spot. So I thought, oh, I'll call her Meg. But actually, she's probably one of my favourites. She probably is my favourite. She's a little bit feisty, and every now and again we call her Megatron, which is quite apt because of my t-shirt. Transformers. She's not really like, she doesn't like other guinea pigs. She tries to, I don't know what she tries to do, bite them. She doesn't like them. So the only one I've been able to pair her up with, which was my third one, which was Rosie. She's called Rosie because she has this little thing on her head called a rosette, where it's like a little parting that goes into a circle. And that's the only one I've been able to pair them with. And even then, they have a little scrap every now and again. But they other than that, they're fine together. I think they just give them a bit of space with each other and they're fine. So then I moved in with Michael, and Michael was like, oh, I want my own guinea pig. So then we had Macy, and we called her because she was all grey. So we thought, oh, Macy Grey. And then I bought a big hutch, and I was like, oh, we can get another one in there, for sure. So we had two hutches, and we bought one called Daphne. And we called her Daphne because she was all ginger, so we thought from Scooby-Doo. And then we realised that Macy was getting bigger and bigger. And turned out she was pregnant when we bought her, and we didn't realise, even though we bought her from a very well-known pet shop. So we wasn't impressed. But when we complained, they did give us money off to get an even bigger hutch and kind of a thermal shelter hutch cover. And so she had two boys and a girl. And Michael's nephew, although he calls him Tim, but that's not his actual name. But so one of the boys was called Tim, and then I thought, oh, let's have all little T names. So we went with Thelma for the girl because of Scooby-Doo, and Trevor. But unfortunately, we lost Tim and Trevor during the summer. I think because of the heat, it was just a bit too much for them. So, yeah. Try not to get upset. But, because they are my babies, bless them. I love them. And I feel, I feel bad because I feel like I should have done more. But, they had fresh water and they had cucumber, like lots of kind of water-rich food. And they had ice packs and everything. But, yeah. So we lost two of them. But we've still got 6, and I still love them to bits, and they're still my little fur babies. So that's my pets. So favourite movie. Sorry, one moment. Love my cup. My favourite movie is Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. I love Kevin Costner. I know people take the mick out of him and they slag him off, but the man's made some good films. Prince of Thieves, The Bodyguard, Dancing with Wolves. I mean, that's an awesome film. And, Field of Dreams. Field of Dreams. It's like my 3rd favourite film. I've known men to cry at that film. It is, I just love it. Absolutely love it. But my favourite types of films, as much as I love them, I love Kim Costner, so Prince of Thieves. But I love kind of the 80s films. There's not many decent films recently that I will actually watch. So, like, I love Ghostbusters, Gremlins, Batteries Not Included. I cry at that every time. I don't know why. At the end, it's like it's a little robot. It's not even real, but it still makes me cry. But then I love things like Crocodile Dundee, Sister Acts, Three Men, a Little Baby, and a Little Lady, Look Who's Talking. I love all of them, and I really think it's got to the point that they've just run out of ideas of films because everything just seems to be a remake now. So, but yeah, so that's my favourite film, Prince of Thieves. I'm really trying to hurry up, and I'm on 20 minutes now, you know. I really don't want to make like a half-hour, 40-minute video every time because I don't want people to get bored watching. So favourite TV show, it's quite hard really. Probably Criminal Minds. I love it. I really like the actor that plays Spencer Reid. I think he's lovely. I think he is. I don't know what it is, because he's a proper like geek. You know, he's like a real geeky character, but there's just something about him. Yeah, I honestly think he's a little bit yummy. There is just he's got something, but I love it, and that's my whole. I love crime shows. I love CSI. Start again. Love CSI. Law and Order, SVU, all of them. Love them all. But really enjoy Charmed as well. Love it. Actually, in Charmed, I first heard the name Wyatt, and I really like that name. And I'm trying to convince Michael to like that name, because I would really like it as a boy's name if I do have a little boy. Because I don't like names that can be shortened. I have this real, like, a lot of people, my name's Sherry, and a lot of my family and people at work call me Shell, and I can't stand it, you know. And my brother's called Adam and they call him Ad, you know. Colin, Cole, Michael, Mike, like, but at least Mike is a name, you know. People call me Shell. It's like, what is that? It's something that got washed up on a beach, you know. It's like, that's not my name. And I don't know why. And I should be less annoyed, because actually my full name is Sherry Ann and it's hyphenated. But at least Sherry, again, it's still a name, you know. Like, but Shell, what is that? What is that? And I hate it. So I do, you know. I suppose they could call him Y, but I don't know. Anyway. So any crime show, and I love Charmed, and I love watching Orange is the New Black at the minute as well. But I also love, I don't know if you guys have it in America, but one you might actually really enjoy is the Great British Sewing Bee, and it's with a bit like the Bake Off. If you guys get the British Bake Off, they have to start off with, say, about 10 or 12 contestants. And then they have to make something different every week. So like trousers, pyjamas, costumes, anything. And I really enjoy that as well. Music, I'm a bit like my films in that there's not much popular music that I like. I listen to Radio 2 because it has a lot of old music on it. My favourite band is Nickelback. I like that kind of rocky stuff. And I think they get dealt a bad hand as well, because I think actually the songs they've released over here, which isn't many now, definitely not one recently, are very different to the songs that's on their current albums. And their albums I find are a lot more edgier, and I like that. I like to be able to hear instruments, which is why I like a lot of classical music as well. You know, I do have a guitar, a light blue electric guitar, which I was so happy because I watched a video on YouTube and Eric Clapton was playing the same guitar. So, but I haven't, you know, I can't play nothing on it. I just thought, I went through a phase of wanting to learn an instrument, and I thought, oh, I'd learn guitar because my dad really likes guitar, and I thought, well, you know, we could do like jamming sessions together, but I've never learned. So maybe I should learn, because, you know, it costs money. It's just sitting in my cupboard. But yeah, all types of music, but mainly older Even right down to like the Rat Pack and that sort of thing. I love that. I love that. Elvis. I love Meatloaf. I love Meatloaf, actually. I do love Meatloaf. I don't listen to a lot of pop. I don't, you know, like Beyonce and stuff like that. I don't. The odd song maybe, but I couldn't listen to a whole album of it because every song sounds exactly the same. And it bores me.